buckle up and prepare yourselves for a huge best of 5. This is by far, you ready for this? This is the biggest best of 5 that we have had in the round of 16 of the 2v2 World Cup ever. That's right. The biggest best of 5 in the round of 16 ever. That's also because it's the first best of 5 we've had in the tournament. So that hype is just complete waste. But welcome. This is all going to YouTube, and YouTube, I'm not gonna call you out. I'm just gonna inform you on how this is gonna work exactly. Every single set from here on out will go to YouTube. You can cheer on your favorite countries, and you can see what's happening in the 2v2 World Cup in its entirety, much like you would watch on the stream. But YouTube, there's people in chat who are going to smile and salute. We'd love to have you in the future. It's a big thing to stop by the streams on the weekends. I'll have all the time of when it's starting for next weekends and the weekend after that. And then the final day is on the 20th of December. But for Germany, we have Nili in the blue. He's playing as the Ethiopians. In the green, we have Jordan, formerly known as Jordan 23. Now it's Jordan AOE. If I call him Jordan 23, my apologies, because he'll always be that in my book. Jordan's over here playing as the Slavs. Jordan is up against Winchester, the king of Russia. This guy's been a beast for many, many years. He's playing as the Indians. And then we have Dark in the red playing as the Chinese. Now, this is a meta map. There are some maps that were picked for home maps that are not so quote-unquote meta. It's not that scout into night meta all the time. This is a meta map, and I'm really curious how this is going to go, because when I think back to the group stage, when Germany played Argentina on this map, I was thinking Argentina would be favored on Arabia, and I don't think many people disagreed, but Germany actually outplayed Argentina there. So had I not seen that said, I would have said that, you know, Russia would be favored on Arabia against these two. I think the skill set of the Germans might be not quite as good the more open the map is, but Germany putting in the time to train and looking to prove us wrong here. But we will have that meta. On the right side, it's likely going to be archers and all about archer numbers. On the left, we'll have scouts into knights for Jordan and then camels for Vinch because he's Indians. Karith, welcome to the stream. I'm doing good. Yeah, I'll have in-game time now down here for those wondering. Sorry about that. And I might be missing some other questions here, but yeah, hello everyone. I know I had a few days off. I'm doing good, doing good. Getting ready for a big 3 days of streams anyways. I think this set will go up to YouTube in the next day or two because I'm a bit behind. There's still some group stage things I want to upload. But then the goal is to swiftly upload things to YouTube right away. Is this live or recorded games? This is as live as it gets right here. Look, I cannot fast forward. Cannot fast forward at all. All right, you see the signaling here. Winchester signaling. And Dark signaling. They're signaling their scout positions. And I remember Russia doing this before. They want to group up their scouts against the enemy villagers in Dark Age.
Let's go.
I don't like it in Dark Age as much as I like it in Feudal Age, because in Feudal Age the scout gets extra speed and attack. We will see. No capturage for the rest of the tournament. Will they fix it for the old patch? I have absolutely no clue, but not concerned, our base. I think we have all the stats we need right here, and the action really speaks for itself. Oh, Nili? Could have been worse. He could actually steal those goats. Oh, geez. Okay, he's not going to get the goats, and his scout's down to 3 HP. Well, sometimes you just have a rough start to a game. That is not what you want there. It's impossible for him to pick off any wall villagers. Impossible for him to have any real presence with this scout. Interesting how Russia, they've been all over scouting the base of Jordan. At least Dark is... Where's Winchester at now? Oh, they really don't want to lose their scout to the town center. They're looking for it. The first person in Feudal Age will be Jordan. And that's interesting, actually, because normally you'd see Indians going up faster. We have Winchester going for a very casual 21 population uptime. Ruben Stock! No TC drops allowed here. Get out of here. What's up? Ruben Stock, thank you for the host, my friend. Nice to see you've been streaming recently. Spoke to him about that a few weeks ago. Neely's going to be annoying, but that scout's going to die. Why are you... It's a 3 HP scout. Was that necessary? Maybe Dark didn't know it was a 3 HP scout, but he just housewalled in A scout that was one smack away from going down. Hey, you never know, man. There could be a lot of nerves here. I think this is very... Oh, again, Dark with... Dark's town center is a freaking sniper. But yeah, you know, I think both teams are going to have confidence they can win here. I heard that Russia and Germany were training partners. And Russia got the better of Germany in most of those games. That is super unfortunate, by the way, because the way it works is you just train with someone who's not in your group. And then, surprise! The way things ended up panning out as okay, Jordan going in for some revenge here. I feel like this is a poor move from Jordan. He won't kill a villager. But yeah, anyways, Russia will have some experience. I think they'll know each other very, very, very well. And Dark, you might think that this is late for him, and he is going to be just now up to feudal age, but it's normal for archers. And Chinese start with extra vills, so you can see his vill count's looking good. Over here, I mean, everyone getting involved with their scouts. I don't see Vinchester's scout just yet, but look at Dark being annoying at Jordan's base. And then Jordan still being annoying over here. But good work so far from all teams. Big thing I noticed is that Vinchester's playing super safe. And he's not really in a... He doesn't seem like he's in a mood to rush it much. His scout even... I'm not sure if this is... I'm pretty sure that that's his starting scout. He actually brought that back home. I don't know if I'm correct on saying that or what. And over here, Nilly getting the edge over Dark with the man-at-arms rush. And it's so non-meta that I didn't even expect it here. This is great for Germany. And maybe this comes back to how teams practice. But one villager down, and this villager, while it could be walled in, is idled. And that's beautiful. Dark is so good at that. But that's exactly what you would have wanted. If you look back over at Nilly's base now, Nilly is only on one range, but he'll have the second. He'll be walled. And good early damage for the Germans. Also, this is just really awkward base layout now. Dark would have wanted to have his ranges over here. So it puts a bit of pressure on Vinchester to carry. And I think this is how I would have things sorted as far as 1v1 skill amongst, like, across the board with the teams. Vinchester's number one. He, in my opinion, I know it's close, but I think Vinchester's a slight edge over Jordan. And it's like Jordan Nilly. So Jordan's probably number one on the German team in terms of 1v1s. And then you have like Nilly, Dark really close together. But like, Vinchester, if there's gonna be one player who can really change games in certain situations, I think it's gonna be Vinchester carrying a bit. Now this is not to take anything away from Dark because his performance in the group stage was stellar, but the Germans seem to be very closely matched in terms of individual strengths. And they're gonna pull through here with good strategy if they do win. I noticed Russia running forward. Here's Jordan with the scouts. This might be a surprise for Germany. And this is actually good for Jordan. Losing the HP is not, but now he'll at least know that the army's moving out. And oof, yeah, that scout took even more hits than I imagined. You do see the army difference now. Dark is at 4 military and Nilly's at 6. But I think... Well, we'll see. It really matters where the archers are and if you're setting the pace of the game, which right now it seems like Russia's able to. Nilly has his army over here. Teams are signaling the minimap. This is all going down live right now as they're communicating to each other. 7 scouts for Vinch. 1 is weak. Vinchester has 4 kills, 0 deaths. So good start, and he's been completely untouched. Same could be said for Nilly, of course. We haven't talked about Nilly's base too much. Not too bad, not too bad. Also, he's Ethiopian, so they have the faster firing archers. But for Russia, I think they'll like the fact they're forcing a tower from Jordan. And they've invested so little into running forward here. Only 3 archers, and Germany's just been trying to track them. This is actually what stems from going man-at-arms into the ranges, because you have the archers a little bit later. But also, it just stems from really good overall play from Russia to have the confidence to move forward. Nilly, okay, he had his man-at-arms, and I thought there was one around. It just died to the archers. But Nilly, if he's paying super close attention, will know that 6 or 7 archers were over here. Russia doing the smart thing, running back. Vinchester has not had to force a tower or anything at home, despite taking this gold, which is certainly awkward against crossbows later. And we will see the click up to the next age. I think Dark is auto-scouting. That's kind of funny to see. Germans pushing, but Russia will have the first person in Castle Age. Let's compare that to Jordan's position. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. This is bad. Now, I think there's a hole between the house and the blacksmith, but Jordan's just now getting wheel. And while he is Slavs, and he's going to have a ton of food. If there's a hole there, this could be so good for Germany. Okay, now there's a market. Well played, Vinch. Yeah, I mean, Winchester's going to be so much faster. Good news for Germany, though, is that he did make a tower on the gold. And that means he can't get that second TC up and get a massive eco lead.
2 years, and I think this is the tourney that I had enjoyed the most. Sad for my buddies, Chili's though. THX.
Feels bad, Omar. Omar, that's amazing. Thank you for the 2 years. Salutes in chat, please. I would say Heymans, but we haven't seen Magyard yet, so... Okay, there goes Jordan on the way up, but there's a 50% difference. Let's compare Nilly's resources. Around 300 food. Dark's resources around the same. So we'll see how confident Russia are pushing forward. You see the hills? It's actually very visible on the minimap on Arabia. I love this map gen. There's hills between the players everywhere you look. So you can use that defensively, or if you take control of the hill, you can use it as a big offensive advantage. Winchester's going to make quite a few camels. Now, what's been the real difference maker when fighting against Indians in this tournament, guys? I'm pulling my elementary school teacher casting tricks out of the book here. Archers, exactly. Now, kids, if you were paying attention, yeah, archer numbers are so important. So I think Nilly's got to be going for 3 range behind this. I'm a little bit surprised to see that the teams engaged in this fight. That was a 50-50 fight, right? Both teams felt like they could take that. But why on earth would Dark and Winchester take that before upgrades and camels come in? Like, Dark had less numbers, and while they had the hill, maybe they felt like the scouts from Winchester with the upgrades would do enough. That was pretty sloppy there. Nilly now 18 military, and Nilly is on the way to Castle Age before Dark, and Nilly's adding the 3rd range. So that's a good moment there for Germany. Because yes, camels counter knights. Yes, Winchester has a lead over Jordan. But if Nilly has 10, 20 more crossbows at all times, it can be massive. We also see the 3rd range for Dark now. His base layout is really messy, I have to say. All because of the man-at-arms rush earlier. But while Nilly is in a nice spot... Actually, he's in an amazing spot over Dark. A lot of that pressure is coming towards Nilly now, so Nilly has to be careful. Big J, thank you for the 8 months. He says, let's go Winchester. Yeah, I'm going to be bummed to see some of these teams go home. That's how it goes, man. There's no... You can't lose round 1 and then get back into it later on in the group. That's not how it works anymore. Round of 16. Either way, we're going to be pumped for a team and upset for a team at the end of this set. But Winchester playing well, and keep an eye on the Vil counts, guys. Keep an eye on the Vil counts. He's only at 38. But I think he didn't get wheelbarrow. Or maybe he did. I don't know the difference there. He's on 2 TCs, and he'll probably be on 3 soon. Indians are just unparalleled when it comes to booming and making their cav, because their Vils are so cheap. But I expect to push back from Germany. I really do. This is good micro from Nilly. He's got to be careful that these units don't break through the house. But yeah, his upgrades are going to come in, so I think he's okay there. That was decent micro. Yep, good house there. Nice patient play, and I think Russia probably surprised by how much faster Nilly is over Dark. Now, Dark is going to be able to keep up with the archer production. It's 20 military for both, but expect Germany to push out a little bit. Let's check Jordan's economy. Jordan's economy, 2 TCs. I expect him to stay on 2 TCs for quite a while, just to get the knight numbers out. Meanwhile, we have that 3rd TC for Winchester. It feels so much more natural to be able to do that and make the camels. Whereas the Slavs, yes, you have the faster farms, but you're going to need to get the upgrades. And I actually see a shift from Germany, a shift they wouldn't want to make. Okay, they thought about it. They were definitely considering going over here to clear this up to keep Jordan safe. And they're deciding to go forward, which I believe is the correct play. But in a close match, it makes it really awkward. I just noticed that Dark was getting all of his feudal age eco upgrades just now. You'll notice that Jordan's had to add a monastery, which is far from the meta. But that means that these camels are out of position now. If they run them back, they're not pressuring and gaining anything from Jordan, and it's just dark at home. Did just get Thumb Ring. Is also going to be on Ballistics. I'm comparing the economies. Both Archer players. Full Archer Q. Forget about Eco. Oh, I think Dark can hold this. It's a really awkward spot. Well, actually, you know what? No. I think this choke point is going to be rough for Germany to run into. Let's see. They're taking him off of gold, but I think if Dark patrols into these fights with Thumb Ring, he'd be okay. Really surprised to see, because he has about 10 more Archer numbers, and Jordan doesn't have Chain Barding yet. So Germany are happy to just run in here and take him off of gold. Here come the camels, though. Germany realized they could be surrounded here shortly. And while Winchester wants to engage, he needs to engage with his teammate here. Big engagement. Oh, Winchester dodging the shots. Good micro. Here comes Dark from the other side. Nilly and Jordan. There's so many more knights coming from Jordan. Yeah, the big thing here for me is that half of Dark's crossbows haven't been engaging throughout these fights. But at the same time, there's not enough crossbows from Nilly to really make the difference against this many camels. I think Jordan has to bail on this. Is he going to bail on it? He's not going to bail on it. He's going to surround the knights. That's a decent surround, too. What's going to remain for the Archer numbers after this? Look how close the stats are. Look how close the stats are now. Nearly, he's going to have around the same amount of Archers. Winchester is going to have 2 or 3 more camels than Jordan's Knights. But my goodness, that was an intense moment. Dark is behind economically. But as I stated before, he's not massively behind. Because Nilly just now adding his town centers. So that's actually going to be the interesting shift to pay attention to now. Jordan is behind Winchester's eco, but it's pretty equal. Whereas Dark, I don't think is... I just heard a second TC. Okay. He is going to be on 2 TCs, but he's going 4 ranges. And this hill right by Nilly's gold is going to be brutal. You know, on the flip side, there are all those resources forward for poor Dark, right? So... Fortunately, Russia were able to clear that up. And because Russia were able to clear that up, where their resources are located back at home is not a big deal. And this could be a Doubt TC. I know Doubt's not playing here for Germany, but TC will... Okay, the TC goes up probably because they'll focus on military. But these are some bad, bad losses for the Germans. Oh, the TC doesn't even go up. Doesn't even go up. It's not completed yet. Now it will be completed. The crossbows can hide in there. But great recovery from Russia after Dark was in a rough spot not too long ago. Look at Winchester's vill count. 83 villagers. Just continues to gain a lead over Jordan there. And if Nilly doesn't have a lot of military, then the camels are going to wreck the knights. Now, if this is a 1v1, Slavs could switch into pikemen. But pikemen are really slow. And they died at crossbow. So there's a reason this meta does exist. The way to catch up here, if you're Germany, is to somehow hold. And maybe hope that Nilly gets an economic lead, but he definitely doesn't have that now. He's actually behind by a villager. You see a siege workshop now. I think the Germans realize this is a bad position to be in. And Russia clearly realizes this is good for them, as they're continuing to send all of their new units to this hill. Yeah, I was wondering if maybe you could go for a Mangonel shot. I think we're going to have to see a Desperation Delete here. For those that haven't been following, it's kind of a unique thing. When you're firing uphill in age, the opposition receives 25% less damage. If you delete a Mangonel after you fire, the game forgets about that disadvantage. And oh man, Nilly. See, Jordan's on the left side here. They're not able to work together because of the hill. And oh man, what a slaughter! What a slaughter. Nilly worked so hard to get his army numbers out, and he got a big shot off there. That's helpful. And he even gets another one in there, but that Mangonel will go down, and it's just not enough for the Germans. Such amazing map position for Russia. Map position that Germany could have had, right? The stones and the golds are forward here. The stones and the golds are all forward over here, but it's Russia after that big fight. Maintaining control. Will there be any deviation from this? Is there something that the Germans can do Or are we not too far away from a castle drop or something? Like, I'm thinking a castle might come forward in this hill eventually. You don't need to do it, but my goodness, man. 36 crossbows for Dark. Nilly's only at 10. It really comes down to the fact that all the action has been at his base over the last 15 minutes. And let's look at Vinchester's economy. Guys, Vinchester, look at that queue. He's got Vills queued, and he has 12 camels queued at the same time. Full upgrades. Ridiculous. You compare the farming numbers, he does have 1 or 2 less farms, or fewer farms. But, as there's a castle there for Jordan, Jordan still is not able to fight in straight-up engagements against the camels. And now it's Germany constantly reacting as we have Dark imping. Dark is imping right now. Varian says he said fewer. Guys, it's a new era. So, funny story about that. Oh, God. Nilly, dead things. Dead things for Nilly. He's trying to help with what he can. Can he get a big shot? Can he get a big shot? No! Dark's like, I'm going to split. And I'm going to split again. Oh! And I'm going to split. Oh! And I'm going to split again. Ah! And again. This is not pretty. And again. I mean, over here, we have a massive doubt castle for Jordan, so I don't think it matters. And again. This is pretty impressive, but you really should just run away from that one, I think, and wait for Vinchester to send in camels. No, Jordan! Jordan with the doubt castle. Game 1, are you kidding me? I mean, the castle's probably going to go up, just like that town center earlier, but look at the Vil counts now. What does the castle really protect? It's so easy for the camels to pressure other areas. Jordan has a lot of back resources, to be honest. Like, I guess he has that gold forward, but Vinchester's starting to wall that area. Vinchester now swinging right back over to Nilly. And as much as I would love for Germany to have some type of miraculous comeback here, it would have to be more than a miracle at this point. They're already calling upon the Lord with some of these buildings. Oh, with Dark being on the way to Imp, Nilly might have a Vil lead. But Dark just decided to put less food into villagers, and he wants to get to Arbalest ASAP. And they don't really even need Vinchester Imp. He's trading already, actually. That's pretty sick. Vinchester is going to be imping, but if they swing the Arbs with Castle Age Camels over here, Nilly would just lose all of his buildings. All right, there it is. The sign that Germany might need to call it soon if they don't take a good fight. Nilly thinking of imping. Jordan actually sent him gold right there. So they know that the only way they hold on is if Nilly has a really good couple moments. He does have the better Arbalest if you're comparing the Ethiopian Arbs to the Chinese Arbs. However, will he be on Arb? Big shot! Good micro from Dark. Arbalest is on the way. Chemistry's on the way. Bracer's already in. And so I think Nilly will just lose everything. Best thing for Germany, though, is to run to the north. Right? If you run to the north, then the Arbalests aren't hitting Jordan's base. They're not hitting Nilly's base. Problem is, you're stuck in no man's land. There's Arbs surrounding you. You're running right past these production buildings. The camels are going to melt. And yeah, this is just... What does Nilly upgrade now? Russia just too strong, man. And Vinchester, like I had said earlier, all the pressure was on Dark with the men-at-arms. Then there was 2 armies over at Dark's base. But while you don't go into games wanting to 2v1 the best player, that might be what they need a little bit more of in the next game, because when Vinchester's untouched, he does amazing things. And notably, I think Indians too, that does help. Jordan sent his knights up here. And the trade has already begun for Russia, so I see Jordan's imping. This is a big stage in the tournament now. It's win or go home. And so you're not going to see teams resign early like they would in a ranked game. And there's absolutely no shame in that. They should play on until they know it's over. They're continuing to play on. Nilly's soon going to be an imp. And he's losing so much right now. There's Arbs over here around Jordan's base. See, if Nilly's not able to defend himself, then he's definitely not going to be able to defend Jordan all that well. And you look at Vinchester, you see the text coming in. Vinchester about to have heavy camel completed. And Jordan's eco. This might as well be low elo legends right here, this wood line. Poor guy. Can't take any of his resources, completely surrounded. This is an interesting area because he's switching into Halb, which is very good. But Arb does thrash that. So Russia's going to start defending that area now. Back over here. We missed it. My bad. But Dark killing more mangoes with Arbalest. Just look at the Qs. It shows you the difference, right? There's way more Q'd for Dark in comparison to Nilly. And there seems to be more Q'd as well. In particular, the important things like the trade for Russia. Here are the Arbs just after I mention it. Russia spotted it. They know how important it is. They have Arbalest there. Nilly's Arbs probably need to swing back over there, which is not so ideal. And this is as this group is probably going to go down, and that's 21 Arbalest. Ethiopian Arbalest, but good luck keeping them alive. Yeah, he'll lose them. There's no doubt. He either loses them after the town center goes down, or before the town center goes down, because I think that TC is going to be brutalized. Imperial Camel on the way for Winchester. In the group stage, we talked about Indians. Some cases they seem OP, some cases they don't. This is more of what I expected Indians to do in this tournament. They drafted Indians, wanting to get off to a strong start in the best of 5. I don't see how Germany does it here. They have way too little. And I appreciate the fact they're trying, but the trade is up for Russia. They're doing all the right things. The population's way too low for Nilly, way too low for Jordan, and that GG is going to be called shortly. For Germany, I'm thinking back to early Castle Age. That fight they took at Dark Space. They ran in, they got trapped. You know, it's tough to say that they should have done something else with that army. You know, you want to force the fights in some way. But ever since that moment, Russia have had full control. This is essentially the Germans saying, okay, kill us. You know, we know we're dead, kill us. We're going to make you actually win the game. We're not going to resign because we know that you're going to win the game. You need to do every single thing right here. Example A is Dark hasn't taken this corner away. So the Germans can still go for some trade. But yeah, just crazy display from Dark and also Winchester. What's the red left in Jordan's base? There's Arbalest. Still has no answer to the Arbalest himself. Still would need Nilly over there, and poor Nilly is already trying. He's already dying, so he's trying to float some pop over there, and as he tries to float pop over there, then bad things happen. So, or the bad things get worse. That'd be the way to say it. What if they pressured Winchester instead of Dark? Cenotaph, I'm going to talk about that. Because there's pros and cons. But I'm not going to get to that until after the GG is called. We no longer will have in-game chat since the games are live. So I imagine they all said GG. They also probably said that my farms are amazing. We can't verify it. But what a good start to the series for Russia. Okay, so I'll talk about it right now. They had good momentum. They had Dark on the back foot somewhat. Would it have been smarter to double the Camel player or Winchester? So I'm going to talk about, it really depends. If you've been around long enough, you know the answer is always depends. But I'm going to talk about why it might be a better move in almost all instances in Feudal and Castle to double the Cav player, right? Big thing is forcing towers, right? So, like, let's say there's archers and scouts. Do you remember that one army that was outside Winchester's base? He had to tower because he doesn't have any range to defend himself from behind walls. If you're attacking Dark, Dark can just sit behind walls and range you. And those knights, while they might have been there for Germany, they didn't contribute anything in that instance, right? So, I think the big thing, though, is the lack of mobility archers have. And they took the fight right to the archers. Like, hey, oh, you're behind. You have slow units. Let's just take the fight right to you, you know? Whereas I think what would have happened for Germany, and I'm not saying it would have necessarily been a great fight,
to watch this on YouTube.
If they pressure Winchester, Dark he cannot take the middle of the map. He cannot pressure Nilly. He cannot pressure the gold. He has to react and save his teammate. And then from there, Germany has a little bit more control for the next fight. they have control of the hill in the middle, right? So it's impossible to say what the fight would have been if they shifted over to the left. But that's the logic there. I think that is why doubling the scout player makes a lot more sense than doubling the archer player. But, there's so many factors. The eco's a factor. The production's a factor. Time windows if they're going imp. And that's just a solid game. Here's a quick look through the statistics as we prep for game number 2. You should make a T90 Depends emote. That's just a diaper. No. Listen. When I'm old and gray and you guys have all left and no longer supporting me, I will get a Depends sponsorship. That's the deal. And then I don't need to pay for my adult diapers. And then, in my eyes, I will have made it at that point. The whole series will go to YouTube, Antonator. You are correct on that. Score is 1-0. And now we will have the next game, which will be on either Scandinavia or Ghost Lake, Germany. It's really, I can see what map they're going to go for, I believe, once they load it up, and we'll probably have a few minutes to wait here. Okay, it looks like they're going Scandinavia. And that's interesting to me. Because I think if you go Scandinavia here, you don't want to go for that meta immediately after losing game 1 the way you did. That would be my guess. Or that's just the classic caster talking about too much. But when they beat Argentina on Scandinavia in the group stage, they had Celts and Burmese. They will not have Burmese here. I don't know if Burmese is really a civ that they needed to have there.
Still here, and it seems like you are too.
Let's
Have you
use
fallen out of a perfectly functional plane yet?
let's
So,
use
thanks for not dying.
process of elimination to determine where we think they'll use the other civs. So I think Franks and Lithuanians, they're pretty standard knight civs. I think we're going to see, so like Franks, Lithuanians will be used on Valley,
Base your
at Ghost
success
Lake.
in life on whether or not you
Magyars
can
will
rebel
probably be used on
darkness.
Chaos Pit.
Very high standards 11.
The more I look at this draft, I think the Germans will go Berbers, Celts. Or Malay, actually. Malay could be sick with the fish traps and for water control. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Not sure where you'd use Berbers then, but that would make sense. Holy donos.
Darling, we've run out of depends. Would you mind using the bedpan today?
Lorena 2070, get out of here. That's not my girlfriend. Thank you. By the way, I asked her who she thought would win between Russia and Germany, and she said Germany. I said, why? She said, because the only person I know is Nilly. So she's rooting for Germany because Nilly's the only player she knows. Keep in town. Thanks for 2 months. Photosynthesis, thank you. But yeah, maybe Berbers because of the faster vills and sneaking on water maps. Yeah, Malay's not a bad shout either. We'll see. I can tell you what the civs are now because we're about to hop in. We have 1.5 minutes to wait because there's a spec delay. But Nilly actually has Italians. And then Jordan has Celts. Okay, so we got Celts correct. And then it's Persians and Japanese for the Russians. Ooh. Interesting. Feel like Persians and Japanese die pretty hard to Celt Siege Onager if it goes late, correct? You have Italians with the ability to trade early. Yeah, I think that Russia are going to need to gain early advantages, feudal and castle age, because if it gets post-imp, will be really tough. No, Persians are not being saved for Chaos Pit. I can see that right now because they're using Persians on Scandinavia. I can see it. There's a spec delay, so we'll find out soon how they want to use them. Steve Splinter, gifting 10 subs. Thank you, Steve. Again, the little number that's at the bottom of the screen, that will update with every time there's a new sub or gifted subs, whatever, that will update starting tomorrow as it all tacks onto the prize pool. So it's a minimum of $5,000 contribution from myself on top of the $25,000 from Microsoft, which is amazing. And then for every sub on top of 5K, putting in another $1. So that'll actually keep track. The only downside, well, you know what? If there's a downside, I'll talk about it. But I think everything's set up and good to go there. Logical Wood, thank you. Booty Snake, 42 months. Jeez. Mbakalele, tier 3, 22. Did you get your head checked yet? I seem to recall recommending you do that because that's way too much support. Burke, that's funny. I did say that my success on life would be based on whether or not I'd pay for adult diapers, but it didn't sound crazy until you pointed it out.
Amazing content as always. Keep it up.
All right. Here we are, Scandinavia, and I was really curious what the map gen would look like. Oh boy. If you've seen Scandinavia before, I'd say about 71.23% of the time, teams are going to be with their backs to water, right? But that is not the case here. And this is what I like about Scandinavia, because you can't necessarily go into this with a game plan knowing what the map gen's going to look like. So we have the Germans, Nilly here in the blue, playing Italians. On the right side, he is water. And then his teammate, Jordan, is here in the green, playing as the Celts. On the left side, he is water. This can happen. And they'll know right off the bat, uh-oh. If we wanted to full wall this one and have a safe area to ourselves on water, we are not going to have that. In my opinion, this gives a big edge to the Russians. Because this is only off one game. After seeing the Germans play this before, I'm fairly certain the Germans wanted to have safe water in the back that they could wall off and fish boom. And if it's going to be competitive on water, you'll have Celts v Japanese over here. Japanese probably on par, if not a little bit better than Celts. And then it's Persians v Italians on the right side. Well, you know what, actually? I think Italians, it's pretty competitive on both sides with water. Let's see. There's lots of choke points in the middle. It will take forever to wall it, but it is wallable. This is also going to be fascinating for late game trade. Let's say it goes post-imp. How will they trade? They'll have to trade from here to here. Both teams will be getting less gold per trade trip. Remember, the Germans picked this as a home map, and it was their second home map pick. So they could have gone for Ghost Lake, but after game one, they didn't want to do that. Here goes Dark with a Vil. There's no wolves on this map. You don't have to worry about getting woo-woo-wooed. You do have to worry about enemy scouts. And Winchester will likely wall this up and dock. Fishing ships, hugely important. Jordan scouting around. I noticed that Jordan's scout, he has a little bit more HP than Dark. And there's that dock. Okay. Over on this side, we also have the dock for Jordan. It doesn't have the wood yet, but we'll place that dock most likely. Sometimes you have to delete the palisade before building those. Yeah, okay. So what we're not going to be surprised by is some aggression on water. There's no real need to sneak villagers now, because the idea of sneaking on the other map gens is to get to the water that's at the back. Ooh, boy, Winchester could lose this villager. This would be amazing for Germany. Nilly could attack that. Nilly could kill that. Okay, Winchester's going to be a nerd. Can he pull it off? Oh, my. Ow! How? These guys are so good, man. It made it look so easy. I thought that Nilly was staying close enough to the villager to deny that. But no can do for Nilly. Jeez, man. Well done. All right, Nilly has to run away now because his scout is weaker, so that's definitely an advantage for Russia. On the other side, Jordan's scout is also on lower HP. Must have ran into a scout and or a villager. Oh, look, same thing happened. I think at the same time, too. Do you see this? See how weak this Vil is? I think at the same moment, yeah, I'd have to look back at the minimap. But the Germans were both trying to attack those Vils, and the Russians micro-nerded their way out of trouble. It's interesting to me how Germany, who once full-walled this map to take it to post-imp, is now not walling much at all. It means they will have more villagers working on resources, and that tells me they want to win water. It does, take some type of an investment to wall like this. And then also there's the time.
it's been 3 months.
So in theory, this should be better for Germany if they want to win water.
Can't wait for Hidden Cup 4.
And Nili is on the way to feudal age first. Also, Nili and Jordan working together with their scouts right now. Or staying close to each other anyways. Nili. Looking at his build here, it looks like a full-on water build. We should see a second dock here shortly. Sending a villa out here to wall a little bit. That's something. I mean, he's going to need houses. Seems risky, but that's also fine. Dark still hasn't clicked up. You see both Nili and Jordan faster to feudal. Also, how beautiful is it that there's 2 shorefish next to the dock here? Whew. That's some food income right there. So pretty straightforward stuff then. We'll see villagers go to wood and gold. When the Germans wall is going to be an interesting thing to talk about, but we'll see. I don't see any barracks from any player. One thing I didn't mention about Scandinavia is there's 3 boars and a lot of deer, so there's even an extra boar here Winchester doesn't care about right now. I mean, he cares about it enough to keep it safe. I don't think he's too worried. Okay, this could be massive. Nili's going to want a 3rd dock. Nili has to be very careful here. Oh, boy. Let's see. What did he notice that? Okay. Seems to have noticed. He knows the scouts around. He's going with his fire galleys right now. And, oh, we sniped the villager over here. Nili with the faster feudal age. Get some redemption for Germany. What a play. And now it's 1 dock production against 2 dock production. And that gives him a massive lead on this side. The faster feudal and 2 docks. Now, let's see if Nili can return the favor with the quick walls. He's going to try. He's still trying. Still trying. Still trying. He can do it. I feel like this villager's taking no damage. He can do it. I believe. He can do it. That's right. He does his quick wall training with doubt, so it's always going to be tough. But still, I think I prefer to be in Nili's position because the docks were up a little bit faster. 2 villagers over here now for Winchester. Winchester will be on 3 docks. The good thing about Persians is that you have higher HP docks. It's very hard to lose control of water. Over here, you have Jordan and Jordan switching into galleys early. Do you see that? He was going with fires and also some galleys. And I think this might not necessarily be a full-on commitment. But it's because Japanese fishing ships take so little damage from the fires. He wants to mix in galleys because the galleys actually do a better job at sniping them down. Now, I'm a little disappointed that Jordan chose to attack this villager instead of taking out the fishing ships. But if he's able to kill 1 or 2, which is what he's expecting, which is why he separated them, I'm sure he'll be happy. But man, there's still Japanese fish are just insane. Meanwhile, over here we have Drush from Dark. And that might be man-at-arms, you know. And you have stone walls from the Germans. They really want to wall this up. And that could be why Jordan was distracted, because he now has to wall at home. Walling in the golds. The Dark is extremely good with forwards, too. It wouldn't surprise me to see Dark considering sending villagers through. Over on this side, Winchester still on his 3 fishing ships. Both players fighting. We got demos coming in from both. Don't click. Boom! Good demo for Nili there. I say don't click because my game still crashes sometimes. When units die. It sounds awful that that bug would exist. But ever since Hidden Cup, I'm always really scared it's going to happen again. What's up, Miguel? Got galleys and some fires over here. And Jordan, I know it was tough, ends up getting some fishing ship snipes. This is a real problem, but Dark doesn't have men-at-arms yet. Okay, so one thing that can happen. Let's say you fall behind on water as a team. You are then most likely prioritizing getting back in it on water, so you don't give it up, right? And in those moments, the team that's ahead can switch out and do something else while you're transitioning or while you're trying to save yourself. However, you can easily transition into something else if the stone walls are up. And that's why the Germans are so quick to stonewall here, because they want to win water and then, you know, maintain a fish boom and take it to Castle Age. So the only army that's really making a difference on land is this right here. But I'm really curious now, as Jordan does have fletching, how this is going to go on water. We might actually see a switch of sides here. I don't know. Neely seems to be doing a more competitive job against Vinchester than Dark is against Jordan on the other side. What's up, Dragonstar? I was watching your stream earlier, man. Pretty freaking cool to see Dragonstar streaming now, Rubenstock streaming. Like to see it. Any holes in the walls? Not really. Jordan playing fantastic for his team, and let's check his resources. 300 food. Oh, he's fighting? Oh, they're man-at-arms now. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. They're Japanese man-at-arms as well. Oh, jeez. Oh, God. Oh, God. That was a dozen idols, and one just went down. And this man-at-arms rush is really harassing Jordan. Look at this. Demos over here would be sick. Jordan's just got a micro. It's tough when there's men-at-arms as well to deal with. Over here, got demos trading. Neely falling off a little bit. Falling off a lot of bit, actually. Now, credit to Vinchester for recovering after the struggle early feudal age. Against Italians, too. Jordan falling back again. And Dark's just going to continue to commit on water. The guy's not even creating villagers right now. I think his food eco is going to be a disaster. Look at this. Yeah, he's over here now on the hunt, but that's because he does not feel confident. But wow! Neely's on the way to Castle Age, but Neely has 2 military. Vinchester's going to be on the way to Castle Age. Vinchester has 13 military. Who's winning this game? And when does the middle of the map matter? Jordan has had to add a range so he can get some range units out to deal with this. When I saw the Drush, I saw it was walled out, and I figured that's not going to get much value. I think it's got fantastic value. It's kept Jordan off of all this food. It's forced Jordan into an archer range. And, well, yes, it's not going great for Dark. I think that this is another situation where maybe Vinchester can carry a bit for his team. But I say that as I realize he has the eco to go up. Okay, and he's just now clicked up. That was delayed. Can you transport, possibly? Get a villager down here, make some knights. That would be pretty epic. Also be a very Vinchester thing to do. Neely's just hoping to maintain some type of presence on water. But he's going to have only 2 docks to produce from. Oh, it's still doable with a demo or 2. He's even adding more docks right now. I did like the galley switch a lot for Jordan. It hasn't been perfect for him because he's had... Oh, God. No. Jordan probably just said, Neely, the man-at-arms are coming to you. And you can tell the villagers heard that message. But now Neely, when he really needs resources because he's in Castle Age faster, has the man-at-arms here. And he will lose 1 vill, 2, 3. Oh, my God. The value from this army, though. Don't tell me another one will go down. Oh, man. This is so bad for Germany. Great micro from Dark, too. Update on the water situation. Nearly trying to complete his upgrade. It's in this dock, which fortunately for him will complete, but he's going to engage with a lot of his forces before the upgrades. Now he's only on 3. So it's 3 against 11. Oh, no. Okay, that villager survives at least. Okay, on the bright side, the man-at-arms have been cleaned up. And the water is in control of the Germans on the left side. And it's controlled for Russia on the right side. So there are positives to this situation, right? You look at the eco situation, Neely's really far behind. He's at 34 villagers. Must have had a lot of TC idle time. But, you know, I don't know where you or how you change this now, but I think you wall up if you're Germany and try and land boom. And then you do want Celts as your carry player anyways. A lot of people didn't see it, but it was Game 5 in the group stage between Argentina and Germany. Scandinavia. Neely had Celts in that game. And while the map gen was different, so it didn't play out like this, Neely just free boomed into Siege Onager behind stone walls. What do Japanese and Persians do against Siege Onager Halberdier? Not a lot. You have Nilly already in Castle Age. Jordan's soon going to be there. Dark is pretty far behind. Think the Russians, with that logic, need to pressure a little bit. But I can see that Vinchester doesn't necessarily agree. He's going for 3 town centers. You have Persians to go bombard cannons against Siege Onager. It's not ideal, Sleeping Weasel. It's really not. Especially when you're going to have, it's not just going to be Siege Onagers, right? I feel like the way to get a lead in Russia's eyes is to get a boom lead and then early imp pressure. Because I'm saying Siege Onager like it's a sure thing. It's the most expensive thing to upgrade in the game.
Is 25 days of December. Thank you for everything.
Oh, Nilly. With a sneaky little dock here. We'll try and swoop in with some fires. How big would that be to take out these fishing ships? I might get away with it too, you know. This might work out really well for him. Look at the eco right now. 53 for Vinch. Oh, uh-oh. Vinchester noticed it. Boom. And another one. Oh, that was such good defense there. Because the food eco that he's getting from the fishing ships has given him the food to create it out of villagers now. How likely is it to see a transport from Russia? That's what I was wondering as well. Like, how sick would it be to transport villagers back here and just raid with knights? Jordan's going for a forward siege workshop, so it's not just going to be full boom. In fact, just now getting a second town center up. We know how solid Celts can be with the Mangonels. Over here, Dark not forgetting about water. Didn't want to give it up. But he's still losing. See what his micro is going to be like. Jordan does have many weak ones in here from all the fights in Feudal Age. Pretty close fight if you consider the HP, but that would be if Dark is focus firing. He's not focus firing. He's got a lot to do. This is all before the siege arrives, and yeah, you know what? This will end up being 50-50, actually. Yeah, the siege is on the way. Dark might need to go for guard tower or monk defense. But Jordan has to run back. Nilly is... He's on TCs. He's going to 4 TCs. He's just praying that the team can... When I say the team, Jordan can do a bit for the team right now. Jordan did get crossbow. We got bodkin. But I think Germany should know how difficult it is to be able to break these walls. Skogo says pretty well done by Dark not to be dead on water. Now considering the start. I agree with you, Skogo. Nilly was fastest to the Feudal Age. Ended up losing water to Vinchester. Dark had an awful start against Jordan. And is remaining competitive on water. Very impressive. And if you look at his Vil count, I mean, that includes some fishing ships, I think. But he's done a very good job. But I think Italians, Celts is just so much better in post-imp if you get there. The fact that you can trade so much with Italians is sick. We'll see. Sometimes the best form of defense is some offense. We see that here, but I also see that Vinchester, just like in game 1, beasting it up. Almost 90 villagers now. Nilly is at 60. Jordan's at 64. It's like we have 3 really good professional players here and a god. That's what the difference looks like right now. Blowing things out of proportion a little bit. But Vinchester is just on steroids right now, man. He's incredible. He's on his way to imp. He's adding a barracks. He's also adding stables. So it does look like he wants to go into paladin. So yes, Genoese crossbow counters paladin. Halberdier counters paladin. Big fight happened over here. My goodness. Like, while all that is the case... And this is kind of funny. Oh, God. He wants to send his Mangonels over this way. And they're trapped. Yeah, while that is the case, if you get Paladins out before those units arrive, can be sick. I see a transport ship for Vinchester. I think Dark held on long enough on water to where this doesn't play much of a role now. Jordan didn't have a free fish boom. Look at how much fish is available over here compared to Vinchester. Nearly even walling between these wood lines. That is such a smart move. Because that transport could be deadly if it comes. I think Vinchester should send out like 6 to 10 knights. And Neely's actually getting coinage now. I think he's going to send all of his resources to Jordan. I like that move, actually. You need to have Jordan on help. But yeah. Germany are kind of in a desperate spot right now. I think you send the knights out to take map control, and then you stop production and try and get the paladin before you queue up a lot of cav. Probably what I would do. It's a good point. There's gold and stone here for Dark, which is awkward, but same thing for Nilly. So, you know, here come the villagers now. It'd be kind of funny if Vinchester just drops a TC on the gold. Here he goes. He doesn't know about the house walls there. Here we have the Mangonels. That's probably a signal from Dark saying, hey, send your knights here. And, oh boy, the Mangonels came forward for Dark. We have double stone wall for Nilly. Listen to the ding, ding, ding. Because Nilly's going to start sending his resources right over to Jordan so Jordan can get in that halberdier. Jordan is adding the barracks now. There, yep, there's the ding, ding, ding. Nilly's sending a lot of resources over. Pressure's on. Russia wants to end this fast. There's an overchop here. There's an overchop from Nilly. Nilly needs to pay close attention to so many different spots of the map. This as well is going to be an issue. And Vinchester runs it right around. Oh, this pressure's just unreal. More stone walls now. If it goes late, Italians, Celts, probably better than Japanese, probably better than Persians, but that forward castle from Vinchester is sending the message that they want to end this quick. And he's not going for Paladin. He's just spamming all the Cavalier he can make. Fortified wall now for Nilly. But it looks like this piece of wall is about to go down. He has to eject in or out of the castle to get through. And here he comes. Jordan is not even in the Imperial Age yet. Wow. Russia looking so strong. And throughout all this, Dark can just boom. Dark can do whatever he wants. There's no concern about him getting back into the game because this is Vinchester versus all right now. Vinchester, still nothing going on this side. I'd like to see some Rams there maybe. And if it's Vinchester in your base with Cavalier, he's just going to... While he is going to kill things, he's going to run around, make it so it'll take you 10, 20 minutes to clear up all the cav, even if he doesn't send many more in. Even adding a tower there. This is brutal. Yeah, there's so many spots that Germany need to lock down. Fortunately for Jordan, he will have Halb soon. He'll have good upgrades, and he does have Kel Halberdiers. Mangonels. I like how Dark's been microing the Mangonels as he's booming at home. Now going to pressure that TC. Remember, Nilly and Dark are the exception of these Mangonels, pretty much only contributing through adding eco. Say that as Nilly's eco is completely surrounded. Can Jordan do this? Dark is just now getting his first wood upgrade. He's freaking Japanese, man. You know how cheap those lumber camps are? He actually got that in Castle Age in game 1, too. That's what's funny. He's been super late to his eco upgrades all day. See, unique tech for Jordan. All right. So he's really thinking about the siege. He wants to ram this down, and Nilly is just walling and walling and walling more. If score means anything to you, Germany have a very real chance here, guys. Look at how much military Jordan has. 66 military. And Vinchester still making cav. Still trying to break through walls. But if you've watched Fatslab games, you'll know that it's easier to build walls, or it's faster to build walls than it is to destroy them. That's a lot of halberdiers. Jordan on the left side, I see a transport. He might actually transport some pointy boys over here. Nice castle there from Dark. Are we getting to that point of the game where Celts just destroy everything that Japanese and Persians can make? I say everything. There is one unit that Japanese can make, and I see them in the queue now that can reverse that role. Elite Samurai would be epic. If he can get the resources for Elite Samurai and the castles for Elite Samurai, Samurai would wreck the Halbs, it would wreck Woad Raiders, it would wreck the Rams. Unless Celts get Siege Onager, of course, but it's just Siege Ram and Halberdier right now for Jordan. I think that Nilly and Jordan need to try and start trade. It's definitely not... I mean, it's a crappy map for trade. Oh, what is this? What? The stealthy ram from Jordan. Where's he going? How did this get here? He's chugging along here, man. Meanwhile, fortified wall, as Dark is trying to delay so he can get into Elite Arambai. Not Arambai, sorry, Samurai. And the Siege Rams and the Halbs are going to clear this up. Germany are going to have their base back. What on earth? Where's the Ram at now? What the? He's just meeting up with his friends. Jordan with a crazy queue. He's queuing up Scorpions now. We could have Celt Scorpions. Now that would take care of the Samurai. Dark needs to be in this game with Elite Samurai now. I also am seeing that Dark is trying to get onto water, maybe thinking fast fire ship. Jordan's focus is completely on land. That could lead us to a unique scenario where we see trade cogs for trade, which would be epic. The story of the Ram continues over here. Jordan has a lot to do because Nilly is still just in Castle Age. If you're wondering at what point Nilly should go Imp, I think Nilly shouldn't even think about it until Jordan has maxed out. And the big thing is they should add trade. So Nilly can still trade in Castle Age, keep slinging. There's Samurai, though. That could be the key to the siege. That could be the key to the Rams. Where's the other Ram at? Did it go down? I think it did. Trade already starting over here for Russia. These wood lines are really awkward for the trade. Seems slightly more awkward for Germany. But then again, they didn't chop the back of their base, and the Russians did. All right, here are the Scorpions. If Jordan's patrolling... Oh, Jordan, don't lose all your Scorpions to a Ram. They nearly walled it out. Oh, God. That's a lot of Scorpions right there. Oh, no. No. Oh, he didn't put... Oh, that's really... That hurts so much. Scorpions stack, and they have minimum range. Just wasn't able to pay attention because that pushback from Russia. And now Elite Samurai is in. Paladin's about to be in for Russia. They have the trade. Also, they might even have the water control as well. And with that, you could take out the markets. You see how the markets are close to the shoreline on either side? It's not something that Germany will have. Yeah, guys, I think this sling, it was never part of the plan, right? The plan was to win water, get Celts to post imp. Dark just deletes his pop. He has too many bills, so he deletes them. And here come the Paladins. This isn't completely walled, and the Scorpions aren't elite yet. Can Jordan get a quick gate up? Gate it! Gate it! Gate it!
T90 hype.
Okay, he's sending the Halberdiers in at least. But the pathing is so awkward when there's so many choke points. And it will be Paladin and Elite Samurai, and I think the army's just going to be able to clear this and run right through. We might be looking at 2-0 then in favor of Russia. Nice choke point for the Scorpion. That's 14 Scorpions. That's actually... That's more Castle Age Scorpions than you see if you're not watching Huang. They're not doing bad. The problem is, if there's not any more Halberdiers, all the Scorpions will die to the few Paladins that remain. That was actually better than I thought it would be. Especially if Heavy Scorpion comes in, which he doesn't seem to have the wood or the food for. He is definitely relying on Nilly sending him resources right now, Jordan. He only has 21 on food, 26 on wood. Just mindlessly making Scorpions for these choke points. Here are the Bombard Cannons. The Bombard Cannons will take out the Scorpions. Another forward aggressive castle from Winchester. The trade is running for them on water. But Jordan trying to build a castle here to protect the markets, much like Dark did in the north. Woad Raiders would be a mistake. He is making Woads. I mean, Maybe if it's just a mix of Woads and Halbs, but Woad Raiders get shreked by Elite Samurai. You really would want to just have Halberdier in Siege. Ideally, you have Nilly contributing with something. But Nilly's not able to right now. Look at how much trade he has. Germany's trying to hold. They hold on long enough. The gold can kick in. Oh, boy. There's no way to engage against the bombard cannons right now. Oh, no. Oh! Oh, God. Oh, the scorpions are getting flattened. No! No! Oh. There's like an eighth of his population right there. All flattened by a few bowling balls. And here comes Vinchester with his own Rams taking that gold. Guys, it just does not feel like Germany can do this against Russia today. The GG is called. How good have Vinchester and Dark looked today? Another win for them. And this was on the home map of Germany. Jeez. I don't know if it matters, but I think Nilly might have lost his MTC. Right? I think he might have lost his MTC. It really came down to Vinchester outplaying Nilly on the right side, and then Vinchester having an insane boom. Like Jordan, he still had someone being competitive against him over here on water. Dark is, if you've ever seen him play in 1v1s, an extremely stubborn player. And it showed there how stubborn he could be, because he kept asking questions of Jordan. Jordan had to commit more and more and more to water just to make sure it was secured. And that was not the case on the other side. Now, I could see exactly what Nilly was thinking, because look at the uptimes. Nilly's in Castle Age at 2038. Vinchester's in Castle Age at 2157. So Nilly went to Imp, or not Imp, excuse me. He never made it to Imp, but he went to Castle Age significantly faster. That's huge. But the faster Castle Age doesn't do much for you if you don't have the military numbers. You can see where it all dropped off for him right here. So I don't know if that comes back to how many docks he had, or his build order, or what exactly. But this area, this is where Germany either gained a huge lead going into Castle Age, or they fell way behind, and they ended up falling way behind. Because that could have meant, like this boom that Vinchester has here, the Imperial Age that he has here, that never happens if Nilly's competitive on water, or at least it's not going to happen quite as easily. All right. Well, good news for Germany is that they do have one more home map. In theory, you should be better off on your home maps. And the next home map will be Ghost Lake. I speculated earlier as to which civilizations we would see here. I think we're going to see either Franks or Lithuanians combined with Incas or Vietnamese. It would make sense. The idea on this map is to go for scouts and archers into knights and crossbows. So, I mean, Berbers, Lithuanians, Franks, all pretty good at that. You'd want to save one of those civs for Valley then, and then for Chaos Pit. I mean, honestly, maybe you have Franks for Chaos Pit if it gets there. You have to look at it that way, even though you're down 2 games. It's a best of 5, guys. But you don't want to waste all your civilizations and ruin where you would place them just to make it to a game 4 and not have any good civs. Volpe says, Russia simply did not make any mistakes post-feudal age. I mean, with the exception of not getting important eco upgrades, I'm with you. Playing very good. Hey, T90, good evening. Hope you're sharing some love today. Charlie, I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. I see people asking about the schedule. This is the schedule. It's a bit wacky, but it'll end up being a pretty crazy weekend. So we only have one set today, which is why we started on the later side. And then tomorrow we have China A versus China B, Brazil A versus Brazil B, and then Canada A versus Poland. And then Sunday we have all the other sets listed below there. And that will be the full round of 16. I think we have the brackets here too. But yeah, this should show the bracket, the way it's set up, and then the quarter dates and the semi date and then final date. All right. Is this Jordan 23 with a new name? Yeah. He called himself, when he returned to the game, he started calling himself Jordan 105. And then I think it was just for the memes, you know? And then now he's just Jordan. So. Deponer, thank you for the 5. Wildstorm, thank you for 18. These games are live, by the way. They have launched the next game. However...
14-month anniversary. Here is a prime.
Oh my god, we're already in the next game. What in the... Normally there's a delay. Let's go. Maybe they didn't add the delay? Alright, well, thanks everyone for being here and being a part of this so far.
Good
It's been rough for
afternoon,
Germany.
What chances do you
Send them your
have to
energy.
come
And we'll see if they're able to mount the comeback. Nilly here in the blue, playing as the Malay. Teamed up with Jordan. Jordan is Lithuanians. Jordan is up against Vinchester. And Vinchester's Kumans. Oh. Combined with Saracens. Okay, I can tell you what Russia's going to do. What I think Russia's going to do anyways. I think they're going to go full wall. Yeah, look at this. Full wall. Take advantage of the fact that Kumans have that team bonus with the higher HP Palisades. And they might... Well, Vinchester's definitely going fast feudal into a second TC, which is not going to be very easy on this map gen. But they might just have Vinchester go full boom and Dark go 1 archer range, fast feudal, or just fast castle. I still don't want to talk about it a lot because Team USA is still going to be playing in Silver League. But I've seen and practiced quite a few strategies using Kumans. Not necessarily in combination with Saracens, but I do feel like on this map, wall potential is pretty good. Combining it with Kumans can lead to some strong plays with greed. Jordan, Lithuanian, so expect the meta, expect to see scouts. Notice this one. Nilly sent his scout forward, and he already sees walls. So if you're in 14 pop, and you see walls already, you should know something crazy's coming. How do you actually pronounce Kumans? I'm pretty sure it's Kumans, but if you'd like, I could say Kumans, if that's what you're requesting. Something like that. I like the early scouting from the Germans, or Nilly specifically. I think it's really important to do that, because Kumans and Saracens are civs that, while you can play them standard, you normally do not see them played out as such. You kind of want to have an idea of what to do. Nilly, in theory, if he's expecting fast castle, could try and go drush fast castles. I see a villager's going out to gold. Just embrace the fact it's going to be some type of an FC and go for a similar thing. And Malay advance faster to the next stage. So there's some potential there. Can you shout Koreans? Because I love it.
Yeah.
Koreans! There you go. Yes. Happy to help. Now, this map generation is not what you would expect of the Ghost Lake gen we have here. The main gold is almost always forward. The second and the third gold, you almost always have one in the back. Like, you look at Dark, has one in the back. You look at Nilly, I suppose this isn't necessarily the back, but wallable, right? Look at Jordan. Safe, flat, wallable. So Vinchester was hoping and counting on that, I'm sure. And now seeing the golds are here and here, this is not going to be easy for him. But Vinchester is walling up this side. Might be tempted to TC the hill then. Maybe go to stone. What's weird about going for kip checks and 2v2s is you want the Saracen player on archers. You want the Kuman player to be on knights. Okay, and now he's adding a barracks. So I have absolutely no clue what's going on here. Wait a second. Is it a mind game? What if it's a mind game? Because now Jordan is going Drush FC. Nilly's also trying to go Drush FC. If they don't scout the barracks and they're not fully walled, Vinchester could just destroy them with scouts. Oh boy. Vinchester with the quick walls, well done. Oh, it's so important that Jordan gets in here. Jordan needs to break through here somehow. He loses the scout. Vinchester fails the quick wall. There is a weak villager in here. And honestly, that was very good for Vinch. Because he's already weakened these militia so much. And Jordan's scout is down. So I don't think Jordan's going to have any clue that more scouts could be coming out. If more scouts do come out. Will Norway A play after this, or what is the schedule? Man, we've got quite a few Norway fanboys in chat today, huh? Maybe it's all the Germans seeing the result and being like, all right, well, we can't have Viper, but I guess we would just watch him play for Norway. Norway plays Sunday, I think. I think Norway versus France is the last set of the round of 16 on Sunday. For those who are wondering. The schedule should be on a command in chat. Okay, I was wrong. Vinchester, what? He actually did this in the group stage and I didn't like it. So he's going to add Spearmen now, but there's no way he can afford Scouts and a TC. That's a very weird move. Not really convinced with that play. Meanwhile, we have Fast Castle for Dark. Very late for Saracens, but he's going to sell that stone, buy some food, go for crazy archers. You look at Nilly's builds. Nilly's still in Dark Age. And you might be thinking, silly Nilly, what are you doing? But he's Malay, so his uptime should still be pretty decent. The only concern I have for him is how secure his base is, or in this case, how unsecure his base is right now. But he should have the time. Convinced. I'm not convinced with this strategy. Maybe I'm still in the dark, you know? I don't know. Yeah, since Malay advanced so much faster, okay, this might be more than I would do. I feel like Nilly should have a few more on berries right now, but overall should still be in a good spot to have a solid castle. Is it going to be competitive against Saracens? We'll see. We'll see the market go up soon. There's the market. Winchester's eco doesn't look pretty, but because of the stone, he'll be able to sell it. And, sniped Nilly's scout. So now the Germans have lost all their military. Jordan walled. I can't help but feel like walling here would have been so much smarter. It's weird to me how he's walled the way he has. But yeah, Jordan also hoping to go to Castle Age behind this. A bit light on the resources. We'll probably still get there. Winchester's Ville count. Not impressive for a 2TC boom. Not impressive. Now they're really turning, but Germans won't be too disappointed that Winchester added a barracks and also went for this. Closed Converse says, can I use this chat to make new friends? Question mark. Smiley face is in chat if you also like new friends and would like a new friend. Of course you can. Just watch out for that Project Belgium and Vicious Marauder guy. Those two people right there. A little bit terrifying. Apart from that, I think Coctopus is a great person to be friends with. Reliable dragon. Listen, it's a dragon. Who wouldn't want to be friends with a dragon that's reliable? You would think dragons wouldn't be reliable. Nice build here from Nilly. Look at that uptime. That's going to be sick. Very well done. Still not fully walled, but being Castle Age faster than... Oh, God, it's not faster than Saracens. wait, actually, this will end up being pretty even, right? Because of the speed. So, yeah, that's pretty competitive. Considering he drushed and Dark did not. Not too bad. Giant Mega Squid says, I need new friends too. Don't say you need new friends. What if your current friends are still here? It's going to be awkward. Jordan. Everyone's on the way up except for Winchester. But Winchester has way more villagers. He is on stone, but I think he's only on stone so he can place a tower or two. In case the archers from Nilly come his way. Alright. So, 2 ranges. Where will Dark go? 3 ranges, excuse me. This... Guys, if this doesn't tell you Saracens are a bit broken or awkward or unnatural, I don't know what will. 0 farms. 0 farms. And he's just selling stone and buying food. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous that a civ like this exists. But we have a pause. This is live, so maybe someone needed to go use the bathroom. There's Winchester adding the tower. And we're back in business. That was fast. Probably didn't wash his hands.
I miss my friend the overlay.
Nilly chose not to wall a lot. But I think you can make an argument for not walling heavily against Saracens because they melt the walls anyways. So, all right. Nilly sees the archers are here. Very important that they track it somehow. Because if you remember, they lost their scouts, the Germans. And so far, they've just lost a lot of stuff, actually. Jordan has 1 kill, 4 deaths. Nilly has 4 deaths. Dark. Not adding farms. No, we don't do that with Saracens. We're just going to send everything out to the forward gold to secure it with the TC and Nilly on the back foot. Okay, so Bodkin's in for Dark. Bodkin's on the way for Nilly. Nilly has 6 military. He's adding the town center. Interesting. I feel like a lot of teams are going for 3 range in this situation. You do have Jordan coming over with some help. Sending the knights over now. Also securing his gold with the TC. And Vinchester is still in feudal. So this is a 1v2 situation for Dark. The key for him is going to be archer numbers. I think if Vinchester's not here, you kind of shy away from any engagements. Unless you have upwards of 20 crossbows. And at some point, Saracens do worsen economically. But if you just want archer numbers to accompany the crazy amount of knights that Vinchester's going to have, then Saracens are one of the best civs for it. He's actually sending his crossbows over this way. Jordan's tracking it and Nilly's chasing. But look at that Vil count for Vinchester. Saracens and Cumans, they're 2 civilizations which feel very unnatural and almost like they're part of a different game. Makes it unique, right? And to combine them here on Ghost Lake, and maybe you could have gone Saracens with a meta civ or Cumans with a meta archer civ. It's very interesting from Russia. Why is Vinchester so good nowadays? Vinchester's been good for years. The problem is when he goes up against someone who's in like the top 8, top 10, you know, he's unable to get the results, but I think that's the case with most people. So I think for that reason, like, Vinchester's so good that many people thought he would be top 5, top 10. But I actually, it's kind of flown under most people's radars, but I think Vinchester's had his strongest year in Age of Empires this year. We'll see if a certain cup is announced, how he performs in 2021. But Vinch is just an amazing player. What's really cool for Russia is a year or 2 ago, there was no really strong second Russian. So when the Russia Cup comes out, when I announce the Russia Cup at the end of this, I mean, who's going to win? Dark or Vinchester? They're both front runners. Now, guys, it's the Russia Cup. Come on, you didn't hear? You're not excited for that? Not Hidden Cup? Why would I announce Hidden Cup? Nearly running back, man, and this is so crazy. 26 crossbows for Dark. 61 Vils for Vinch. And Vinch is going to have 3 stable knights coming this way. Oh, man. Well, I think it's safe to say that the series has not really gone according to plan so far for Germany. And they're about to be in big, 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 big trouble. Russia, whether it's been aggression on the Arabia games or it's been defense in this game, they do seem to be making very good decisions. And as a whole, across the board, the Vil counts for the teams are pretty close. In fact, I think Germany has the lead. It all comes down to military numbers. If Nilly can be competitive with crossbow numbers, if he can get good micro in here, he's trying to. Oh, better micro from Dark. Wow, that was well played from Dark. Saw the shot, dodged the shot. Nilly backing away. Jordan has to back away. He does have 1 relic, though, Jordan. So that could help out later on. Having the extra attack on the knights is no joke. He tried to get this one a moment ago, and it didn't pay off. This TC will just melt, though. That's the problem. The TC could just go down against Saracens. This should not happen. It's Castle Age. I know people love it, but that's ridiculous, man. It's crossbows. Here's a Maganel from Jordan. Something that Dark did not spot. And Dark takes 2 pretty big shots from that. Will back away. And Vinchester goes in there with his knights to take out the Maganel. He will take out the Maganel, but he'll also lose some knights. And overall, that wasn't too bad for Germany. Could have been worse anyways. Dark also lost some crossbows throughout that. Nilly now with 25. Dark with 26. Nilly with more villagers than Dark. But can Jordan stay alive? 3 games in a row where Vinchester is just... It doesn't matter how the game opens. Vinchester finds himself in the lead. Vinchester's playing extraordinarily well. And he's at 80 villagers now. Jordan is at 73. And Vince chooses to engage here. He doesn't have that many knights, so I'm a little bit surprised that he engaged the way he did. But still, they are going to maintain a very good position right on top of Jordan's base. Nilly needs to carry now, I think. If they can get Nilly onto Arbalest really fast, that's their win condition. All right. Checking Nilly's eco. Now it's his turn for his gold to get raided. He'll add more ranges. He's under pressure. Jordan able to breathe. Jordan with 28 on food. Vinchester with 37. And he's also won 4 town centers. Adding his 4th and 5th stable right now. Feels like Jordan's going to need to have a lot to support Nilly in a second. And because he was under so much pressure, I'm unsure if he'll be able to do that. The Dark getting trapped, though. But maybe this is all part of the plan for Russia, because here comes Vinchester, and Vinchester can surround these knights. Good micro from Nilly to get away, though. Jordan is needed here. This is how you win games in the 2v2 World Cup. Get a lead, swing your advantage over to the other player, make the other team respond at all times. That's what's happening now. Nilly is struggling because Jordan was struggling 5 minutes ago. Jordan's going to come over here to try and help out. And then they could swing that pressure right back over to Jordan if they want to, Russia. Nilly with so many idols. Jordan with so many idols. It's looking like a quick 3-0 by the looks of it at this rate, man. I think the only way, again, is if they can get Nilly onto Arbalest. But Nilly only has 10 military. So, you know, you're not going to have enough. Jordan now sending Nilly food, so this is desperation for them. They know that Fastim could do it for them. They need Nilly to have the resources to make more. Now, Jordan's stabilizing. He's doing okay. He's at 92 villagers, but he still has 11... he's got half of the knights that Vinchester's offering. And you do have Nilly on the way to Imp. It'll be very fast Imperial. But he cannot take this gold. He cannot take this gold. Remember, we talked about the gold positions for Vinchester this game being super awkward, but it has not mattered. It matters that Nilly's golds are forward right now. It mattered that Jordan's gold is forward. That gold's always going to be forward, by the way, that main gold. But, man, just seems too much. Nilly doing the wise move. Imperial Age is coming in and the TC on the back, just in case he loses this one. And this is full knight production, full knight numbers from Vinchester. Vinchester's got a crazy queue of knights behind this. Nilly only has 6 military, guys. These Russians are just too strong. This is non-stop archers, non-stop knights. I think it's Imp in the GG. Pretty crazy, man. Because Germany won their group in a pretty competitive one. Played so good. But you get into the round of 16. The men are separated from the boys. Russia's looking so strong. I did not expect a 3-0 here. I did not expect a 3-0. I thought 3-1 Russia or 3-2 maybe. But 3-0. And, you know, for most of the series, it felt like Russia, not necessarily in full control, but they were never really behind, right? I think back to Arabia, it was one decision that maybe Germany could have done something different there. And then Russia got a lead, Russia punished. Game number 2, Russia got a lead, Vinchester in carry position, punished. Game number 3, Vinchester gets an eco lead. There was no real answer from Germany, and punishment. Crazy. I think it's interesting, though, because prior to the series, I think a lot of people were rooting for Germany and very positive for Germany because Nilly and Jordan, and salutes to them, by the way. Nilly and Jordan are very, they're very influential people within the community. And so for that reason, and we also have a lot of Germans here. So for that reason, a lot of people were like, yeah, go Germany, you can do it, But I think from what I heard in the practice games against Russia, Russia has always seemed to be better than them. And Russia's just too strong. Vinchester especially today. And finally, Vinchester has his man. Finally, he has someone who can put him into those good positions. Dark is very solid. He's been amazing in 1v1s this year. He's a teenager who's amongst the top 100. That means good things for Russia. So yeah, there's no way to recover now for Germany. They are out.